it's liberating to not care what people think. And it comes in degrees. I think I've told you this, I feel pretty liberated. And then every once in a while you get yourself put into a new situation and you're like, oh, I still got to deal with it. I talked last year about that meeting at Oprah's network. I was very nervous in that lobby. I cared very much what they thought. I wanted very much to do good, to impress them. I got very nervous. My point is that you think you're free and then there'll be something new, and that's okay too, because you've got this momentum. You've got this perspective, this health that allows you to deal with this in a more talented, efficient way. So beautiful. That's not a mirage. That's real estate taken. It is. So good for you. I read an article in Psychology Today 2 weeks ago, and it said the top 5 things that people regret on their deathbeds. This is after, did you read this too? Number 1, their number 1 regret is that they lived their life based on what people thought, that they didn't do things because of what people thought. The number 1 regret on people's deathbeds, So, yay, that's what's so beautiful about this training. It challenges you to go to the center of who you are, to be as authentic and real as possible. With that comes authenticity, for sure. And it's not some smooth ride. It's bumpy, no doubt. But how wonderful that, even if you have to do it 10 times and it keeps falling, you're full of fear. At some point, then it's the 11th time where you go, enough. What the hell? Right? Yeah. You get a brand new fresh baby. You do. And you can either starve the hell out of it, of love, attention, security, or you can just make it a pig. You can just overfeed it, make it a glutton, right? Or everything in between. But we do such a poor job, for the most part, of raising fearless, empowered, extraordinary babies. Fearless. But it is what it is. And so at some point it's our job to get out of the mess. That's not what happened. We were raised by our parents who meant well, did the best they could. Even if their best sucked, there it was. And there it was. And so we get this, this crippled foundation. Degrees, everyone's, we all got our shit. Right? Back to the point. In here, you got to deal with that stuff. And that's what I love so much about this training. From day one, pretty much it's, what'd you do well? What didn't you do well? What'd you learn? And that's the approach. I learned that I cared too much what people think. I'm still all bottled up in that. I'm still, okay, next time. And it doesn't happen. Okay. And then you got to start chasing down where it came from, because it's not just as so simple as I'm not going to do that anymore. No, it's deep, man. It's deep. It's a wound. Okay. So for some people, it's just a flesh wound. And for others, it's a gaping, ripping hole. The source of that fear. The source of that lack. Okay. But man, for you to grow into your brilliance, you got to solve it. You got to. That's back to Sandy's teaching, which is, it takes 20 years, and a major part of that apprenticeship has nothing to do with acting, and everything to do with overcoming your fears of what people think. However, you have to do that, whether it's in here, partly, outside, a relationship that helps do that, therapy, retreats, 3-month walkabouts in your, I don't know. But you got it. It's your job to.